Scrum Master certified, holds a diploma in change management. Now, starting her career, Dr. Adeshola Cole worked as a cleaner, then moved into the banking industry. And then, you know how working in a bank as a bank manager can be very little salary, there's a lot of frustration, you're working so hard, you're not earning as much. Does anyone in this section, in this session have, you know, that same kind of experience? You're working so hard, you're not being as appreciated, your workload and your salary is definitely not in proportion. You just want something that would help you grow financially, mentally. You want something that'll make you more stable. Is there anyone on the call who has that same experience? Because that's exactly where, you know, Dr. Adeshola was at. And then she decided, you know what, Nkoyo, thank you so much. I know there's so many people on the call here that have that same experience. They want to move into something better. And then she, you know, delved into the project management space. From there, she realized that, you know what, other people can also have this opportunity. And that's how it started. 2017, she started with only 2 candidates. And now she can successfully boast of having over 5,000 candidates in 2024. Thank you very much, Shegun. Over the years, Dr. Adeshola Cole has received awards of recognition for her tremendous contributions to the society, from Woman of the Year 2018 to recipient of the award for Youth Empowerment 2020, to another Woman of the Year award in 2022, to the African Achievers Legacy Award in 2022, 100 Iconic African Leaders 2022. 2023, we featured in Forbes. That was really amazing time for us here at TriTech. And then 2023, still, we had the Global Excellence Outstanding Woman Award. In 2024, we've also amassed some awards, right? So it's been a roller coaster journey, but here we are, you know, hosting you guys, wanting to be a part of your success story. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Great, thank you so much for that. Now, what are the benefits of data analysis? Because if you agree with me, this is why we're here today, right? And the data analysis space is one of the most popular and talked about tech skill in the world right now, right? Data is the crude oil. So what are some of the benefits of data analysis? First of all, streamlining operations through data analytics identifies production delays, bottlenecks, enhancing operational efficiency, and also predictive problem solving. This is amongst a host of, you know, a host of benefits that data analytics have. In fact, if you work in any organization, any industry, you find out that there's always a data analyst there working back end to ensure that the success of the company is always at the forefront, right? So from predicting problems to improving efficiency to making decisions that would eventually impact the bottom line of the organizational revenue. Data analytics takes a very, very huge seat in that space. Data analytics also helps in mitigating risk and fraud in businesses. It also helps in enhancing security of whatever business or organization that you're working for, right? So these are just some of the reasons why today data science or data analytics, is one of the most sought after skills within the tech space. Next slide, please. Now, if you know data analytics, if you have an idea of data analytics, you know that statistics is also a very, very important part of data analysis. There's no data analysis without statistics. So what is the importance of statistics around data analytics? The demand for data analysts has been steadily increasing due to the rise of big data and the importance of data-driven decisions across different industries. And when I say across different industries, if you're in the oil space, you're in the banking industry, you're in the beauty industry, whatever space you find yourself in, data analytics hold the forefront in that industry because, again, they help in making better decisions. Now, statistics that you should know about, number one, job growth, which is more like the most important, the job growth. The employment of data analysts is projected to grow much faster than the average occupation. In the period of 2020 to 2030, it is estimated that the number of data analytics roles will increase significantly. An estimated 11.5 million new jobs by 2026. So you see, it can never really get saturated. There's always going to be space for whoever wants to get into this industry to get into the space. I mean, there are different tech companies or startups that are being invented and birthed every single day, right? So the demand of data analysts can never ever be reduced, right? It would always keep increasing. Now, what is the basic salary of Thank you very much, Shagui. It is extremely far from saturation. Imagine 11.5 million. Now, obviously, not everybody wants to get into the data space. So everybody who wants to get into the data space there's something for you out there, right? Now, what is the average base salary of a data analyst? Now, we're going to get this data from 3 major countries. We have the UK, we have the US, and we have Canada. And I'm very sure we have a lot of people on the call that are from these parts of the world. So in the US, for example, you have an average base salary of £65,215 per year. Calculate that, is a lot. In the US, we have $107,451, and in Canada, we have it at a 113,024 Canadian dollars per year. Now, please note that this is an average salary. So there are definitely people that earn more than this. There are definitely people that earn way, way more than this. Yes, some way less, but there are definitely people that weigh more than this. This is just an average of what a data analyst would earn, right? Next slide, please. Now, before we go any further, because very soon we're going to be meeting our guest or our trainer for our data analysis course. Super amazing guy, has mentored with TriTech for quite a while, and he has helped several candidates to transition and get their success stories. But in the meantime, we're going to hear from some of TriTech alumni who have gotten their success stories, how they did it, what they were able to do, how they are able to achieve this success. We're going to be hearing from some of them in a bit. Next slide, please. We're going to be hearing from some of them in a bit, right? But before we go into that, let's talk about why you should choose TriTech. First of all, we provide you with practical work experience to enable you to achieve your goals. So aside from your training itself, right? Because you have 6 weeks of training in class, you get into a class, trainer mentors you, trains you, teaches you on the different tools that you're going to be working on. You also have an avenue to get work experience, real life work experience, to work on a project to help you build your capacity. We also develop innovative solutions that will work best for you from inception to interview stage. We offer experienced mentors who assist candidates in their individual journeys and also cater to their specific needs. So when you are done with your course, you want to start applying for jobs, you get an interview, you can always reach out to us, and we'll help you with a mentor who will help you prepare for that interview so that you are at least in 95% sure that, you're getting into that interview with confidence that, yes, most of these questions, I already have done it in my work experience. I've been taught in class. I can actually answer these questions. We also develop and train solutions to upskill organization workforce at a very, 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 very affordable rate, and we focus on the candidate's development. Necessary and relevant skills that these candidates need to give a competitive edge in the job market, because again, it's a very competitive space, right? So what makes you stand out? TriTech will help you build and harness those skills that will aid you in being able to bag yourself a job. Next slide, please. Now, we're going to be hearing from some guys, like I said earlier, who have gone through the TriTech, a second, please, guys. Okay, I'm back. So sorry about that. I just quickly confirmed some things with my team. Okay, so we're going to be hearing from our success stories from two of our candidates. Firstly, we have Johnson. Johnson joined TriTech through the referral from an alumni and was able to secure himself a data analyst role. Now, Johnson did not get into the program and just fold his hands and wait for a miracle to happen. Not at all. He was very active during the trainings, group projects, and that gave him a foresight of what to expect and also demystify the myth around data analytics role in the job market, because there's a lot of myths out there. But being able to fully engage and participate in the sessions or the projects or the classes made him demystify all of these myths. Also, special shout outs to Aziz Busari for painstakingly delivering the classes and practical sessions. Again, very soon you're going to be meeting Aziz. He's one of our best data analytics trainer here at TriTech Consulting Limited. Next slide, please. Next, we have Kayode. Kayode recently secured a role as a BI developer. Quote and unquote, my experience surpassed my expectations. We navigated the complexities of data analytics with the help of our trainer, Aziz. Again, you'll be meeting Aziz very, very soon, in honing our skills and in extracting insights and creating impactful visualizations. The comprehensive training and mentorship received at TriTech equipped me with the knowledge and confidence needed to excel. Now, again, these guys did not just come into the program, sit down, cross their hands. No, they were fully involved in every single part of the journey. And that was why they were able to bag jobs. Moral lesson, once you get into the school or once you get into TriTech, what you want to do is be fully dedicated to learning. Your learning journey matters a whole lot. Now it is time to meet our trainer, Aziz. Next slide, please. Aziz is a data generalist, data analyst, data engineer with about 15 years of experience of expertise gathering, processing, and interpreting data into business insights in different industry. He's also a leader, an astute problem solver, a team collaborator with an extensive, comprehensive understanding and application of big data methodologies, statistical modeling, data warehousing technologies, people management, people development, and product creation. At this point, I'm just going to open the floor for Aziz, so you can meet him. Mic check, Aziz, are you there?
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, loud and clear. Welcome to the session.
Thank you, Sonia. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Just very quickly want to check with you all if you can hear me. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, please? Good. Thank you, Nengi. Thank you. All right, Claire. Good to have you all here this afternoon. Fantastic. Right. I think I've gotten about 20 or say guesstimate 50, 30 responses. Again, like I like to introduce myself. This is where I try to get if people are following me, and then if you understand what I'm trying to say. The first way to introduce myself is to use the concept of binary. Exactly. I think Ebenezer has been in one of my classes before. I can see he's dropped one. Right. So what the way it works is, the basis of all of these things that we do in computer data, whatnot, artificial intelligence is it's a binary, it's written on a binary technology, which is a 1 or 0. So I'm going to use that to sort of get things out from you. If you understand anything that I've said to you, say 1. If you do not understand, you say 0. Or if you have questions, you say 0. So you don't have to take me back to anything. So now let me check if you do understand what I've just said. In the chat box, did you understand what I've just explained? Fantastic. Right. And I'll tell you one thing before we go into why we are here today. That one of the key attributes of a data analyst is what you guys have just shown. You need to pay attention to details. I've just explained something to you and you're able to get it. So one just confirmed that yes, you're ready to be a data analyst. But now let's just dive straight into it. Admin, if you wouldn't mind, are you happy for me to get the screen? Bless. All right. Again, apologies. Today I've got just one I've got just one screen. So we would have time for question and answers. Again, you do not have that power to ask questions directly. You cannot unmute your mic and speak. But I will assure you something. I try to make it as very detailed as possible. It is a taster session, and with that, your expectation is less than 5% of the things that you consider in the class. So it's just very quick insight into what you get if you eventually join us. What I'm trying to say in essence is keep your questions to the Q&A part. I have just one screen, so I won't be able to see the questions. I don't want you to miss any part of this. All right. Just checking. Are you able to see my screen, the PowerPoint presentation? Thank you, Miracle. Thank you, data analyst Aisha too. Thank you, data analyst Isaac. Fantastic. Yes, I'm going to put it up now. I mean, in slide 1, so we can get into it. Yes. Yes. Who is Aziz? Again, like my colleague rightly said to you, I like to call myself a data generalist, and I'll explain why. I've done almost everything in the data ecosystem. About 15 years ago, I started off as an intern focusing on data analysis. So I moved from data analysis, I did data engineering, did a bit of business intelligence, did a bit of product creation. I was the head of product at some point. I built data warehouses everywhere, done data science, done machine learning, artificial intelligence, my focus in the last 2-3 years has been architecture, modeling, governance, strategy, just doing everything around the data landscape. Some of the key projects I've been doing, interestingly, for anyone who has a bit of background or experience working in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, would be I developed with my team the data warehousing for the top tier banks in Africa, just to name drop Guaranty Trust Bank, Old Diamond Bank, Access Bank, the merger was involved. For telecommunication, MTN Nigeria, MTN Cameroon, Stanbic Kenya, and then most recently, in the last 3, 4, 5 years, I was involved in developing interesting projects for National Crime Agency, Lloyds Banking Group in the UK, of course, NHS, of course, Amazon UK, just to name a few. So the key here is we are not just lecturers who go to school to just read book and then give you what is in the textbook. We are doers. We've got proven methodology. Whatever it is that we do from projects, we bring it to class and then say this is how it's been done. I am not the only trainer. I've got interesting trainers who would come to class to tell you what is happening in the job market. What are we looking to discuss today? This is not the day to do actual training, but we're looking to discuss these key things. Number one, I want to even give you a feel of what data analytics is about. There are big things about the analytics with the ICS, as you can see, and there's another one with the IS. So I will tell you the difference between analysis with IS versus analytics with ICS. Again, we'll talk about the stages in data analysis, which is what are those stages that you need to do? What does each of those stages, what do they entail? Course content, if you eventually join us, what does our ballpark curriculum / syllabus look like? And then we then do an actual demo. If there's anything that you're going to take out today, you will learn how to build interesting charts or tell a story from a raw data and help organizations to make informed decisions. And then I'll show you the roadmap after the demo. We come back here to see what the roadmap looks like. What do I need to do if I eventually want to become a data analyst? Road to success as a person, beyond what Aziz and all other, trainers and lecturers will say to me, what are those things I need to do to be successful in this data world? Basic requirements, FAQs, that's when I take the question and answers, and then I show you timetable. Lastly, we'll then recap based on what you've seen that I'm going to discuss. Why do you still need to join TriTech? Now, let's start with data analytics. Again, this is the part that is just purely about the ICS. Again, textbook definition, analytics, data analytics, the one with ICS, textbook definition again. I'll try to break it down, no worries. It says it is the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. So textbook has said to us that you've got raw data in any shape or form, but the process of analyzing it, just so you can make conclusion that, oh, this is what happened, is what we call the data analytics, right? And then I'll give you a scenario and I'll break it down into what analytics is in there. Imagine if you've got, say, different balls of different colors and shapes. Let's say different colors. You've got the red, the blue, the green, and everything. If you dump it into a room or a warehouse without sorting it, if I ask you the question to say, how many red balls do we have in this room? You probably would just do a guesstimate to say 5,000. Some of you who are very great in maths would use square meter to say the room is a 500 square meter room and one partition or one ceiling or something. No, but data analytics will tell you that you can find a way to sort this, and then you are being accurate to say, intelligently, I can tell you this, we have red balls. If you open this door, 4 of it will go out. I'll explain this in the data world, but just picture that process of analyzing what is available in the data to help organizations to make informed decisions. The example of the ball is not so much of what you would get when you come to organization data. But I have a lot of case scenarios I'm going to explain to you. But the best way to explain that process of the things that we do in analytics is the process of just expanding what you have in there. I've already said it that we can have 4 tomorrow, we can have 5 next tomorrow in terms of the balls that we have there. Well, I will explain. What is now the difference of analytics with ICS and analysis with IS? For a second, don't read what we have on the screen, right? Let me now give you the scenario that the standard one that you can relate with, that we do day in, day out in the business world. And this one is not just an example. This is an actual use case for one of the largest retail outfits in the world. And then please go with me. It's just a simple use case. We're going to go through a journey, and then I'll use that use case to explain the analysis with the IS and the analytics with the ICS. Number one, there's something in the business world for when you do your end of the year, where you just try to even recap on the businesses, the things that you plan to do in the year. You go for retreats. So generally we call it retreats. So this retail outfit had gone for a retreat with only the senior members. They left their business and traveled to a good place to just plan the year ahead and review the year that they're just living, right? Again, it will get to a point I will ask you if you are still following, but let me explain this bit and then we'll check before we go into the actual demo of today. Well, this is foundational, and I really want you to understand what you are getting into. Very simple. What they were doing in the retreat was just to say, we want to see how things are being done. And one of the big problems that they got out was they did not have that thing to intelligently know who their customers are. So they came out of that retreat to say, the next year, we want to embark on a project that will let us know our customers better. Is the problem statement clear? The ability to know, they want to know their customers better. It's just that simple in English language. The retail outfit, let me explain, for some of us in Nigeria, we're talking about people, we're talking about like ShopRite, right? In the UK, we're talking about the Tesco, Amazon, people who have physical stores that sell things that you go in to go and buy stuff. Do we understand? So imagine Amazon or Tesco coming to you as a data analyst to say, I don't know, I just sell my business. I do not know my customers. I want to know them better so I can serve them better. I want to know the type of product that they like to buy and so on. Do you understand the problem statement now? In the chat, please. I know I was the one that asked you to follow, just to follow me. Fantastic. Thank you. Now let's move on. They now went into document all of these things and came to people like myself and yourselves, hopefully, data analysts in the house, to say, I have this data. I'll tell you what the data means, because a lot of you are still confused about some people. I mean, I'm not joking. Some people still think data is our mobile data and all of that. So I'll explain what I mean by data and all. So that they have data, but they don't know who their customer is. Is there a way data analysts can help them crunch it? So what are those data? Number one, the data is when you drive into the stores that I'm talking about, the point you start to park, the time you parked, before you even go into the store, there's a CCTV that captures your plate number, the time you came in, the color, all of those things are stored in a place that we call the database. So that information of Aziz driving in at 10 a.m. and doing this, when he went in, he bought a bottled water, he bought this, he bought that, he bought a mouse, he bought the cufflinks, he bought this. He paid at this time. When you paid, this is, I gave him a change, I charged him on this card. These are the things that we call data, right? And then they store it in a place that we call a database. We will not go into the details of database, data and all. So they have those data stored in a database, but because they do not have the skill set like us, they know they can get more information about Aziz. If Aziz is coming every 10 a.m. and he buys this thing, why can't I just find a way to get these things closer to Aziz that he doesn't need to come? Maybe we even buy them. Those are the type of insights that you give to them, right? Now, let's talk about this particular project that happened in the use case I'm talking about, getting to know your customers better. When they reached out to people like Aziz, I mean the IT data consultants, they did their work and came up with one first analysis. What was the first analysis? They noticed that they had very high revenue. They were selling a lot of products. One of them were diapers, which is the same diapers our babies use. Another is alcoholic drink. Another is, it's just long list of those data. Interestingly, and I'm sure some of you will be shocked, there is now a correlation, the analysis that they've never seen until they embarked on these projects. There was now a correlation on the diapers and the alcoholic drink, particularly beers. That's the shock number one. Like, how would you, majority of the people buying diapers are buying alcoholic drink, which is beer. Let me now tell you the most fun part of it. The people buying this product together were married men, specifically. So from the data, they were able to get that married men will go into store, go to first floor, get the diapers, and then go all the way to the fourth floor to get the beer, the alcoholic drink. Right? I'm still going there. I'll bring it back home to data analysis and data analytics. It was shocking, right? Now, the consultant now did a prescription that to reduce the stress of the customers, if you bring the product that you have on the fourth floor, if you bring it to the first floor, it means that if I easily, even if for some people would not like to stress themselves to say, I'll go get beer somewhere else. If they see it beside each other, it means that if you had 10 people that was buying, those 2 or 3 other people that don't like to stress themselves will start to buy. And then you get more revenue in there. They did that, they brought it closer to first floor, and they recorded the highest sales that year. Now, what is analysis in there? What is the analytics? That process of even getting our top product sold is analysis. Collecting the data from where they've stored it, refining it, and analyzing it is analysis. But that next step level to say, if you do this, you will get this, which is the prediction, the prescription, saying bring it closer. This is where is now analytics. So if you can see that as analysis with the IS is a subset, there's no analytics without analysis. You have to know what had happened in the past before you can predict the future. Now let me check with you. Do you understand this? Thank you so much. So what this is about, what we are doing today is now the one with the IS, not the ICS. So analysis with the IS is what you do. And as you imagine, if you don't know, like I've just explained to you, if you don't know what IS is, you cannot do ICS. We have another class that is really focused on the ICS. So you have to know what IS is about. Right. So as you can see in the diagram here, I've said the IS, which is the orange here, the amber here, is what we're going to focus on in the class of analysis. When you're done with that, you're skilled in that, you can then take it to the next level. The process of collecting data, refining data, storing it, analyzing it, and delivering it is what we are doing. Right. What are those different stages in data analysis? Again, all of these things, we'll go into details. You'll be able to ask questions when you come into the actual class. This is a data session. Like I said, it's just for you to have a feel of what we're doing here. Different stages of data analysis. The first stage is where we call the raw stage, where you just have the data scattered. Imagine using the use case I've used before. You have the data of people coming in, stored somewhere. You have the data of people buying groceries stored somewhere. You have with data of people using cards to pay stored somewhere. You have the data of people using cash to pay stored somewhere. So the data is just scattered. The second stage is now when you now sort related data. You see, you have the white together, the blue together, the green together, and so on. The next stage is now arrangement, when you start to arrange the data. For example, in stage 1 and stage 2, if you ask you how many green do we have, how many red do we have, you have to then go through. But when it is stacked, you can easily see by the bar, the highest bar is the one that you have in there. That's the state that we have it. But it still doesn't show that white is before green. You have to still do some mental calculation in your head. That's where the stage 4 is very useful. Stage 4, where you start to present it visually. Clearly, you can tell a story with stage 4. Green is our least, red and blue is our best, yellow and white are doing the same thing and the average. Something like that. And then the stage 5 is when you explain it with a story, which is if you do this and do that, why this can that, and so on. That's the stages of the data analysis. And all of these are the things that we'll explain to you and how to build them up. Again, I will not waste so much time. The actual course, there's no one that will teach you data analysis that will not teach you the data that the language that the data understands the most. What language is this? It's a language that we've called structured query language, SQL. We're going to do this for 2 key weeks. I'll show you what the timetable looks like. Another 2 weeks, we're going to focus on business intelligence. This is where you now start to tell the story using Microsoft Power BI. And then the last 2 will then start to introduce you to Python for data analysis. Again, Python for data analysis. You don't do any prediction. You can use Python to do prediction and prescription, which is analytics, ICS. But then we're focusing on the Python for data analysis. I'll tell you what we do here. These are the key things that you need to know to land your dream job. When you pick 10 CVs of data analysis, these are the things that they ask you. SQL, Power BI, all other things are desirable. Now it's time to go for demo. Are you anyone excited to see what we're about to do today? Like I said, the demo is hands-on. You don't need to do anything, just watch me do it. I want to show you some of the things that we do. Fantastic. Oh yes, one. Fantastic. Good. Now let me switch over. I'm going to stop my screen. Like I said to you, I've got just one screen today. Good. And where are you? Where are you? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to show you one thing before we start to build. For every stage of the things that you do, you have to do, there's this stage that we've called the problem understanding stage. I'm very big on that. You need to understand what you're about to do before you even start to do it. That's when all of this would make sense. Now, let me share. Just let me know once you can see my screen. Now, are you able to see my screen? It's a spreadsheet. Thank you. All right, great. Again, I would go ahead to give you the concept. I mean, the business problem. Why are we doing what we're about to do? For the next 30 minutes, imagine that you are a data analyst working for a pizza company. For a second, if you're from Africa, you understand. I mean, I think there's Pizza Hut everywhere. Pizza Hut in Nigeria, Pizza Hut in UK, Pizza Hut in everywhere in the world. So let's say you just work for a Pizza Hut outfit, and then they've asked you as a data analyst that you just have the data. I want to get insights. Sometimes they are not so, they cannot articulate what the business problem is, but they just want you to help them to analyze their data and tell them what they are doing wrong and what they are doing right. And then you resumed on your first day into this project or as a staff or data analyst of this pizza outlet, and they give you this data. Let me explain what the data looks like. For a second, ignore the first column. Just the first column is just serial number to sort of uniquely identify the transactions that go in there. We don't need it for anything for this data, but let's just ignore it for a second. But the next column, which is this one, when I talk about column, I'm talking about the vertical, yes, the vertical line here that I've just highlighted, if you can still see me. This guy is the date that the transaction occurred. So let me pick the first one, for example. So they are saying this transaction happened on the 11th of December, 2015. Again, date means date the transaction occurred. The next one is branch. Which of my location did I sell the product from? We don't know the product yet, but on the 11th of December, I sold something from the California outlet. The next one is now the pizza sold, which is this guy here. We have different type of products. In California, we sold pizza type of pizza. The next one is how much a unit price. The product that you sold, how much is it? What this is saying is that pizza product that I sold in California on the 11th of December, the unit price is $2,000. The next one is what we call the quantity. How many of those products did I sell? We sold 5 of this. Mathematicians in the house, what this is saying is if one unit is 2,000 and I'm selling 5, it clearly says that what? The quantity times price is the total money I got from the customer. We'll get there. The next one is what we call the time. What specific time did I make this transaction? Or did we sell this product? So this is 80001. They now have a way to decode the time range. Was this time before 9 a.m. or is after 9 a.m.? Obviously, 8 o'clock is before 9 a.m. That's why you have before 9 a.m. If you go all the way down, you'll see something about after 9 a.m. So sometimes you might want to just track the range at which you made some sales. And then lastly, which is the amount, is the total amount that I bought from the customer, which is what? Price times quantity. Is this clear? Do you understand the data? Again, there's a methodology that we typically use, which is business understanding. You understand the business that they do. They are into business of selling pizza products. The next thing that you need to do is data understanding, which is what I've just shown you here. It's something we've called the CRISP-DM. I'm going to put it here. It's a standard methodology in the data mining world, which is cross-industry standard processing in data mining or something. That's exactly what I've just done here. It says you have to go through the loop of understanding the business, which we've done. I've explained to you. Typically, the business will send you a memo of what they want to do, which is we are into this business, we sell this, this is the thing we do. The next stage is you understand the data. This is the process that I've just shown you, understanding what happens in the data before you then build your model or solve the problem. So it's time for us to go and solve the problem. Excited? Anyone ready for us to go into it? We are data analysts today, so we need to be showing the skills. Fantastic. Before we go there, I'm going to stop sharing my screen before we even go to build anything. One key thing that you need to know is the ability to even, okay, looking at this data, or maybe let me put it back up. Looking at this data, let me see if we can start to analyze things together. We are not doing anything data analysis yet. This is every one of you trying to analyze it. Looking at this type of data, what type of insights do you think you can get out of here? Like what type of story can you tell? Based on data that you have, don't let us talk about the color of the pizza or the total male versus total female or some of that, because we do not have the data. You cannot build insight from a data that you do not have. So what type of insights, put it in the chat, do you think would be relevant to the business? Like if you go through the data, you can say, oh, these are the things that we should do. Thank you, Michael. What pizza sells the most? Which state sells pizza on? When and how and where? Thank you. When did we sell the most pizza? When is our worst day? When is our best day? The location, exactly. When and how and where? I hope you all understand for people who didn't get the question. Prime time for sale, fantastic. Product sold, what branch? What time range is the best? Do we sell more in all of these things? You see, sometimes they come up with new products. Some of us will be wondering, why are you selling these two products together? These are the things data analysts will go into the actual things that are happening in the past and then give you an analysis to say, this is what is happening. So maybe you reduce your production before 9 a.m. because you don't make a lot of sales there. Fortunately, sometimes data analysis is the thing that shows if you should lay off or you should employ more people, because it's the reality of your business. Now let's go into it. I'm very happy with you all, and I'm looking forward to having you in the class. You all will be a great data analyst because you've got the critical thinking ability. So I'm going to now share this interesting tool that sometimes when I talk about it, a lot of people will think I'm a shareholder from Microsoft that I work for them. This is one of the best tools you can ever use. I mean, it's called Microsoft Power BI. It allows you to then make informed decision in near real time, get your data, and then it's easy to use. Again, I'm not going to go into the details, but as you can see, it's quite familiar. The interface is quite familiar to the basic tools that we are used to, which is the Microsoft Word, the PowerPoint, the Excel, and all of those interesting things. So the pane that we have here is that one that allows you to sort of bring data in from where it is, from disparate sources. And the one in the middle here is that one that allows you to then use the different charts to then make the decision how to use the best chart for best things. Come into the class, we're going to teach you. That's not why we're here today. It's just for you to give you a feeler, a taster of what the actual class is. And then to the far right is where you have the data. Top panes, you are used to it, where you can save, insert, and whatnot. But now let's get into it. The first stage is to import the data from the source, right? And then start to analyze. Okay, so I'm just going to shut this down 1 second and then import the data. So I'm going to import, and there are some things that you can do. For example, when you see the data, you're not happy with it, you want to transform, you want to edit, you want to do whatnot. Yeah, loads of things that you can do in there. But I mean, again, we know that this data is right. So when you come into the class, we'll show you how to do it. I'm just previewing what the data is. You can see the serial number, the date, the branch, and all. Now I'm just going to load it. When you load it, you would see the data coming here. If you want to see what the data looks like, let me see if I can show some annotations. No, fortunately I can't, but I'm hoping you can see the movement of my mouse. So I'm showing here. You can show the table view somewhere here. We've not done anything. I'm just showing you the data that we've moved in, and the far right here, the data that we have here. Okay, so I will show you some of the functionalities, and maybe in the next 10 or less minutes, we are going to build a report that shows you, that tells a story about the pizza outlets. So what am I going to start with? I think the very first one I heard from you people's recommendation is our daily transactions. To be able to know the best day or the worst day. And how do we do that? Just by coming here and then check the date. Remember that the date that shows the transaction date is what we've called the date. And the amount that we've done that day is what we call the amount. So you just come in here, you check the date, and you check the amount. Once you do this, it gives you this. And then you can do a line chart here. Clearly, this is what it looks like. On a daily basis, this is what our transaction looks like. So from the data that we have, the least day is 3rd of December 2015. The most date is this. Without doing this, I know you can do some of this in Excel, and I'll show you the difference between this one and Excel before the Excel gurus will start to say, how is it different from Excel? I'll show you. So, man, in fact, you can't even compare. But clearly, this can easily tell a story that my best day is the 12th of December, because the higher it is, the lower it is, and our worst day is 15th of December. Again, you can make things more interactive by coming here and do some effects by saying, okay, I want my visuals to have a background. I want to put on the data labels. I want to switch it on so that you can see the numbers. Again, I got it wrong. 3.86 is less than 3.87. So you see the power of showing the numbers. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. I'm just hoping you can see it better now. So the data label is there. I can increase the value, make it bold. You can see it better now. It is black. Again, I will not spend so much time in, women, ladies would do great things with this tool, with their makeup skills. Great colors are not, I'm not the best in here, so I'll try my best. So if you see green and red, it's not my fault. I'm not good with some of these things. But again, what I'm saying is you can have a background of something like this. You can see, instead of just making it just white or something, you can make it black if you want. You can make it this color if you want. Again, I'm just going to go with the very regular basics ones. You can do anything, put the borders, put the shadows and whatnot. And then for the title, you can then call it what you want to say. So maybe daily sales trend, something like that. And then easily you can pick the ones that is best and right from here. I mean, not that you cannot do best and all, but we'll get there. All right, that's one. Another thing that I saw you talk about is you mentioned something about branch. Again, sales by branch. So you can do this branch and the sales, which is amounts. And then you can do something like this. And you can make this just something like this. So you see, and it can be this chart if you want. It can be whatever. I'm just going to place it here. I'm going to place it here just by the side, just so I maximize this report. One good thing is the changes and the formatting that you've done onto the one, you can do it on other, the same way we do it on other Microsoft tools. You click on this and put this formatting here as well. So it has the same background and same thing and all. You can see my report is now aligned. So this is saying sum of amounts by branch, but you can say branch sales and whatnot. I'm not going to change the details in there. But very interesting. This is the way we used to do it about 6-7 years ago. You have to click something, you think about the chart, you think about this and all. There are smarter ways thanks to the advancement in generative AI and introduction of conversational bots. You can ask questions directly and create this chat in less than 1 minute. All of this in I've done, click, click, click. There's something that we've called the question and answer. By clicking, there's this thing about the products, which is here. Let me ask you, what is the name of products here? I mean, what's the header? What's the column header for products here? So if I want to do anything by products, which one of these is products? Thank you, Nengi. Is pizza sold? Column 4 is the product that we sold. So sometimes you know what you want to do, but the name of the field that will show you what you want to do may not be called product. So you need to know it. Those are the details, the attention to details that you need to pay. So this is called pizza sold. So when you want to build anything here, there's nothing like products here. You can rename it to products so that you have consistency. But the data shows that pizza, so don't worry about it if you did not get that. Those are the little insights that will give to you to let you stand out when you start to do this work. So I'm just going to ask questions directly. Power BI, the tool I'm using, already knows this data because I uploaded it. So I can come in here to ask direct questions to say, give me pizza sold by amount. Amount is the sales. Can you see? I'm typing natural English. We call it NLP. It will process your natural language and give you an insight. Just by doing this, can you see what it has done? It's telling me my pizza sold. However, that's not the only thing I want. Let me even go back. Let me say I want my top 5 pizza sold by amount. If I do this and I match my enter button, can you see? It is plotting my top 5 products sold by the sales I've made from the products. Is this clear? The same way we are doing the top, we can do bottom. So if you want to make this a chart, there's a little button here by the side that says pin this. So I turn this question and answer result into a standard chart. Again, similar way, you can do the formatting and then it becomes a chart. Without wasting so much time, we're going to build one more thing and then we can wrap it up to call it a standard report before I pass it on back to my colleague. One more thing is there's another thing about time range. I want to know if we made more sales by before or by after, right? By before or by after. So you do before and after. You come in here, which is before and after is the time range. If you come in here, you can ask the same question like you did, which is time range by amount, right? If you do this, it gives you this chart. You can even change the chart from the question and answer to say you want it by what? Pie chart. I'm not a big fan of pie chart. I would rather use donut, but let's say pie chart because that's we know that. If I do this by pie chart, can you see? It builds the pie chart for me. So clearly, our light blue, which is before 9 a.m., is the things that we've done. That's when we've sold the most. So you can come in here, you format this guy, and you have this report. I mean, so many things that you can do. You can do what we call a card, which is total sales. You can ask the question and say total amount, which is your total sales. When you do this, it's going to give you just a big figure, 47 million. This is how much we've made so far, $47 million. Sorry. I'm trying to maximize space. So you can pin this, keep it somewhere too. So you format this guy, put it this way, now undo. You can make the background black or something. Total sales, total units and whatnot. You can do anything. You can make the background black and then the data format, you can make that, no, maybe I'm just trying to see, is it this guy category? Yes, can make this guy white so that it comes out in color value, make it white. It comes out, something like this. and then you keep it somewhere here. Maybe here. I don't know. You just do anything. Alignment is one of the things I will teach you, so I'm not going to waste so much time in there. So what we are saying is I have 47 million so far, and this is the way 47 million is being distributed. The 5 chart that we've created is saying, you can easily say $47 million is how much we've made so far since inception in our transaction. Texas is our best branch. Hot pepperoni is our best product. We sell more before 9 a.m. Best days, we do more on this. You can even go further to say what day of the week is all of these days. And then again, there's something we call the cross filtering. You can filter. This cross filtering is another advanced filtering to say, now that I have reports by branch, by product, by time range, by day, I want to see particularly for just one branch. So if you click on Texas, for example, if you watch, all the charts will change. So for example, we can see clearly here that Texas is 9.8. If I click on Texas, 9.8, it's going to distribute day-on-day reports of Texas alone. The product sold, top 5 products sold for Texas alone. So Texas made 760,000 out of 4.2 million of pepperoni sold. It's timing by this. And it works vice versa. You can come in here and say for chicken suya, how did we do by branch? How did we do day on day? How did we do it? That's what we call the cross filter. And you can see, but the far right end here is no more 47 million. It's now 4 million. 4 million total sales and so on. So you can then brand this up. If you're happy with the insights, you can come in here. You can insert what we call the image. Maybe you have a logo. So I'm going to put Tritech logo here. So if Tritech is the customer or something, you can put the logo somewhere here. You can even do what we call like a text button to say the title of the report, to say sales dashboard or insight or whatever it is. Pizza sales dashboard. I mean, don't want to waste so much of your time. Again, like I said, just wanted to show you what is doable. You place this here. Very quickly, you just move it up. And then you do this. Something like this. All right. Our dashboard is nearly there. Let me see if I can just work on the alignment. And just so you see it's been done. Something like this. And then one last effect that I want to show you, which is the power of artificial intelligence as well, is what we've called the narrative. Now that I've built this, some executives do not have the time to make insights from the charts. If you agree with me, this tells the story more than the raw data that we have in spreadsheets. Yes or no in the charts? This tells the story more. At least you can easily tell the best is the best at the best at. I mean, it's quite visually appealing. Sorry again, I'm not a makeup person. But the important one again is there are some executives who do not have the energy to even start to generate the insight themselves. What do? They want to see the story. Am I doing well or bad? Up or down? Power BI has the power to show you how to even translate some of these charts that you've built into narrative. How do you do that? You just come in here and build this narrative. You can easily copy this narrative as text as the output of your report and send to them. Can you see what this narrative is about? Sum of amounts. What this is saying is your sales. Recall, our amount is our total sales. What it's telling you is your sales trended down. I'm reading this first part. Your sales trended down, resulting in almost 11% decrease from Thursday, the 3rd of December 2015 to Tuesday, the 15th of December 2015. Is that smart? That's the intelligence. Power BI stands for Power Business Intelligence. Give it the right data, structure it well, and then I'm going to give you this intelligence. It also says that the sales started trending down on Saturday and it fell for about 12%. These are some of the key KPIs that business executives track. Again, it's saying the sales dropped by 3.8 million to 3.3 million, and it's the lowest decline that they've ever seen in the business. And hot pepperoni had the highest sales, which is attributed to 8.3, it's 18.3 higher than the lower. hot pepperoni alone is contributing to 22.18%. So if you have people that is pushing hot pepperoni, this is an insight to show you that you need to give them more money, raise their salary. If there's any marketing you're doing, continue to do it for hot pepperoni. All of that product that is working at hot pepperoni, you can easily move them. You see some of those inside the decision-making process that comes into play. And across all the top 5 pizzas sold, the sales range from 3.6 to 4.2. I mean, this functionality is the functionality that shows exactly what you've built. So if you build 17 different charts, it's just going to summarize the story across the 17 million chart. Do you understand that? And I hope you got the gist of what telling a story in Microsoft Power BI is. But before I pass it on back to my colleague, I will just run you through very, very quickly the last few set of sites that I have. I think just about 5. Again, I promised to do this, so I'll just go over it very quickly. Right. If you eventually join us, what does the roadmap look like? Sorry. Yes. If you join us, immediately we'll give you access to materials, to training materials. Power BI is not the only thing you learn, as you see. We've got the SQL, we've got the Python. So we have materials, recorded materials on step-by-step step-by-step guide on how to install some of these tools. We've got the environment setup and introduction, I mean, the use of some of these tools. We've got the training in SQL. We've got the training in Power BI and also Python as the 5th layer. On the 6th layer, you then do project and internship. This is a differentiating factor for us. We don't just train you and then leave you to it. We walk you through what we call internship. You do your project and your virtual internship. And I'll tell you the reason why all of these things are important. Very, very important, because you need the ability to speak about things that you are doing. And when you're going into interviews, they need to see that you can do it, not just you saying about it or your CVs talking about it. You need the ability to show that you can do it. And if you do the internship really well, it gives you more than talking point for 1 hour. I've never seen any interview that's beyond 1 hour. So you do internship, I will put you into groups, and you do internship by group, by individual. You get certification of internship, certificate, and after that certificate of internship, you get certificate of completion within from TriTech Product. Road to success, you have to be committed. I can tell you for free that only the committed people actually, and commitment doesn't necessarily mean because we know you are engaged in meeting. Even if you cannot make classes, no worries. Once you are committed to say, the classes are every weekend. Once you're committed to say you must listen to the recording and do any assessment or assignments before the next class, you are good. We've seen people who did not make 6 classes and they ended up with their success stories. You have to be willing to learn, try to attend all meetings. If not, just be committed. Involvement in support groups. And then just to note that to get certificates from TriTech that you did this, you have to show certificate of projects. I'll tell you another reason why. We give recommendations for jobs. If you get it, we have to beat our chest that we didn't just train you. You went through the right process. So that's the reason why we're saying we don't give some of those things until you go through the loop. Right? Basic requirements. Of course, just basic communication skills, ability to ask the right questions, speak and verbal and written communication skill, just basic proficiency in typing. We are not saying you must type fast or something. For example, if you ask you to type something, asking where is P, where is R on the keyboard, or W or B or something, that would drag the class back. Another interesting one is your knowledge of basic computer usage. I mean, we've seen in some cases where candidates will be asking, how do I get to where I saved my folder or something? You don't even know how to navigate to your downloads or your special folder. No. Then accuracy to details. How long is your training? It's a 6 weeks training. I have no experience. What is it? 3 months training? Apologies. The class is active 6 weeks. I'm going to walk you through the timetable. I have no experience. What requirements do I need? You need zero knowledge. I mean, those things I've said in the past: accuracy, attention to details, be inquisitive. I mean, ask questions. I mean, basic typing and communication skill and all. Those are the things that you need to have. Can I only join one session? It's not advisable. Like I said, we've got people that did not even join out the whole class and then they ended up to smile. smash it and land a data analysis job. Commitment is more, but it would be nice if you can join the session. You can ask your questions real life. You work full-time, how flexible is your program? It's a weekend program sometimes, and we send recordings of the session to you in less than 48 hours of the class. How long are the class sessions? Again, I'll show you the timetable in the next days. We've got about between 10 and 5 p.m. on a Saturday, and about 2 hours of break in between. Of course, you've got your tea break, you've got your lunch break, and then your wee break. Do you offer certification? Yes, we just give certificate of attendance and then certificate of the internship. This is what the timetable looks like. Don't worry, you don't necessarily have to do a screenshot. My colleagues will send that to you if you eventually join us. Why TriTech? Proven methodologies. This is my last slide. Again, I know I took more than enough time, and I hope it was worth it. Why TriTech? I think I've been able to show you that you will see what Johnson had said from our success story. People who have been here, we have proven methodology and it's working. We have loads of people who have landed their dream job or even upgraded their career. If you are not looking to move into data, at least use the skills of data analysis to become better at what you do. We've got track records. I mean, you can see from the things that I've been able to do, including with other people within the data analysis unit, you can see clearly that we've got the track records. We've got supporting learning environment. We have a WhatsApp group that even after your training, loads of people who had worked with, who had been in either of any of our cohorts have my number, personal number for life. You know, we don't delete the groups, we share tips, we put it into groups and all. So very supportive learning environment. Expert instructors, I mean, not trying to blow this, but I think we are one of the top talents in the world in data. And I'm not just speaking about Aziz. This is what we are. You can check us out on LinkedIn. And some projects and internship, yes, we give you this real life. These are some of the things that other people will not give to you. Career and networking opportunity. We have this quarterly in-person events where you even come and you see. I mean, I've never missed any of these events. Networking opportunities. We started running every Thursday networking events on our Instagram page, you know. And then we send things, continuous learning resources. I could be in a meeting and then someone says something about one platform, I drop it in the group and all. So I hope you found this very insightful, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Thank you all, and over to you, Sonia.
Thank you so very much, Aziz. That has been an amazing session. We thoroughly enjoyed it. I have some questions in the chat box. Yes, we would also walk you through how to download some of these tools or all the tools that you'll be using during your course of the program. For the payment details, we will be announcing that very soon. Do you guys give reference? Yes, we do give reference. Right? Yes, we do give reference. Thank you so much, Aziz, once again. That was a very amazing session. Even I learned a lot from it. And believe me, I am a complete beginner. I've never done anything data analytics. The way you were able to break that down, that was amazing. Okay, next slide, please. So guys, let's know, how was the session? Put in the chat box. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Let me know in the chat box, how was the session? Did you enjoy it? Prince, you are there already. That's all I can say. Prince, Kaki, Mr. and Mrs. Awe, Ifeanyi, you're all there already. One. Thank you very much. Ikechukwu says it was a good session. Bola says it was amazing. Anne says it was an eye-opener. Nengi says it was really good. Aziz is a good teacher. And believe me, he is going to be one of your trainers during this session. Ebenezer says it was very informative. Maybe Joseph says it was interesting. Olajade, it was very interactive. I enjoyed it. It was awesome, extremely simplified, fantastic. It was both smooth and intriguing. Awesome. Okay, I like this. Kenny says it was, so they are coming in so fast. Awesome, very informative, concise, and engaging. Great session. Now I want to do data analysis. Vanessa, you will do data analysis. Just give us a minute. Let's run through some things, right? I personally enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for, paying attention very carefully. Again, like I said, if you don't pay attention, you won't get 100% from the course. But because you all paid attention, I was seeing in the chat box how you guys were interacting, answering his questions. Those were what made it a very interactive session. So thank you very much, guys. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. Great. Now, a lot of people have been asking us for the price of the program, right? But before I do that, I'm going to quickly run us through how the program is going to run again, so that for all those who are still asking questions in the chat box, you have the full details. So the course itself is for 6 weeks. Then you have your work experience phase where you're working on a real life project to help you build your capacity as a data analyst. After that, you can start applying to jobs. The moment you get a job interview invite, reach out to us. We would help you with a mentor. That mentor's responsibility is to ensure that you are ready for that interview, right? We'll also help you with referencing when you need it. And then at the end of the entire course, you have access to, you get a CPD certified certificate of completion. So it is truly a very, very packed and well carefully curated program. Now for the cost of the program. Currently it goes for £850. You're getting data science, data analytics, business analytics, data science, SQL, business intelligence, big data, Power BI. How does this price sound, guys? What do you think? Tell me about it. What do you think? What's the price like? Is this something you like? Do you want to get into it immediately? Tell me in the chat box. Ashasi says, Ashasi, what does mean? In the chat box, come on, guys, let me know. It is £850. Too much, oh. Chiwendu is crying. Expensive. Too pricey, extremely high. That's too much. Don't worry, guys. Fortunately, we have something very, very, very juicy for you guys. We have a discount for you guys. Bukala, don't worry. We're also going to be announcing that soon. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Mr. and Mrs. Abe says, Jesus. Next slide, please. Now, before we get into the discount for the day, if you sign up for the program today, you get a free program. So aside getting data analytics, you'll be getting Microsoft Office Word, Microsoft Office Excel, and Microsoft Office PowerPoint. This is to show you how much we are dedicated to seeing you succeed within the program, right? So aside from getting data analytics, where you'll be learning SQL, Python, Power BI, and all those things, you will also be getting the Microsoft Office Excel, Microsoft Office Word, and Microsoft Office PowerPoint. Next slide, please. Let's go into how much discount we're giving you today. Now, the first 20 people to pay, we have only 20 slots for this course, right? If you're amongst these 20 people, you have an opportunity to pay £479 only, but that is for new candidates. I saw a lot of people who were asking existing candidates. If you're an existing candidate, you have an opportunity to pay £450, right? If you're in Nigeria, not to worry. We'll be sharing the numbers that you can reach out to very soon, so that you will be a part of this discount. Okay, now for 20 slots only, you have an opportunity to pay £479 if you're a new candidate, and if you're an existing TriSet candidate, you pay £450. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, how to register? Simply text payment to Esther and Adejoke. Simply text payment to Esther and Adejoke, and they will send you links or accounts to pay into. Now, there is also an installment plan. We currently have a partnership with Klarna and ClearPay. So if you want to pay in installments, kindly reach out to Kenny or Dio. Now, the Klarna installment plan allows you to pay in 3 installments. However, if you want to pay in 2 installments, pay £200 first and £179 after a month, you can also do that. All you need to do is reach out to any of the numbers on the screen with the word installment and tell them that you want to pay using pay and sign a direct debit, right? So you pay £200 first, and a month later, you pay £179. If you are in Nigeria, next slide, please. If you are in Nigeria, next slide, please. If you are in Nigeria, simply text payment to Divine and Lola, and they will also do the needful and send you the link or account details to make payment to. Simply send no, there are no additional fees. Once you pay this, you're paying for everything, right? Once you pay this, you're paying for every single thing. Okay, please reach out to any of the numbers on the screen if you're in Nigeria. Reach out to Divine or Lola if you're in the UK, US, Canada, UAE, wherever you are. The slide before, please. Great. You can reach out to Esther Adejoke, Kenny Dio. If you are in the UK, the US, Canada, UAE, reach out to any of these numbers and they will do the needful. They will answer you appropriately, right? Citrat, please send a message payment to the Nigerian numbers, and any of the Nigerian numbers, either Divine or Lola, and somebody will reach out to you with yes, thank you very much. Reach out to either Divine or Lola, and somebody will immediately reach out to you. Okay, so again, if you want to register, simply send them a message to Esther Adejoke if you're making full payment. If you want to pay in installments, send installments to Kenny or Dio and they'll respond to you. If you want to pay in 2 installments, simply send payments and tell them that you want to pay £200 and then sign a direct debit immediately after. Right. So I would advise that you guys, if you're a new candidate, and then £450 if you're an existing candidate. Okay, £479 for new candidates and £450 for existing candidates. So you can just screenshot this so that even after we leave here, you can still send the message to them. Or if you need help with it, drop your number in the chat box. Team members will reach out to you, right? You can always drop your number in the chat box if you need help making payments, or if you have more questions that you like us to answer, the course starts on the 19th of October. The 19th of October. Okay, thank you very much, Najim. Again, if you have questions or you need help making payments, drop your contact, and then people on the team will reach out to you. So you'll be covering Power BI, SQL, Python. Those are the courses that we'll be covering. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one sharing the slide as these was, so I wouldn't be able to share those slides again, Elvis. But I will be covering Power BI, SQL, and Python. But as an additive, we would be adding Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Power BI. Right? Yes, the sessions will be on Saturdays, right? The sessions will be on Saturdays, 11 a.m., 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Is a class timetable available now? Yes, it is. So once you make payments today, we sent a welcome pack where you have access to the timetable and other information as to how to download the tools that you'll be needing for the class, right? Okay, so you have a lot of questions. Redney, somebody will reach out to you very soon. Again, that's why it's very important that you sign in with your real name. Okay, is this course, if you'll be learning Power BI, SQL, and Python. So it's a mix of both data analysis and data science. Okay, yes, you can pay using ClearPay or Klarna, Najim. Simply send installments to Kenny or Dayo, and they will send you a link as to how to go about that. How do you go about with the reference for someone who has no job at the moment? So our work experience gives you an opportunity to learn on the job. Again, it's a real life project, right? So on your CV, you have an opportunity to put on your CV that you worked with Tritech as a voluntary role, though not a paid role, as a voluntary role, and you can put Tritech on your CV for up to 2 years. 3 installments, how much will your first installment be? Kelechi, just click on the Klarna link or the ClearPay link, and it will give you more information as to how much exactly you'll be paying. But it will be divided into 3 parts, 3 equal parts. Okay? No, Jackie, it is not the same. You can send an email to info@tritechconsulting.co.uk and someone will reach out to you regarding that course. It's a different course. Okay. Okay. What days are the courses and how long is the class? Emmanuel, it is Saturdays only, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Saturdays only, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Najim, please send an email, send a message to the numbers, to Kenny or Dio, send a message to any of these people, and they will send you the details of how to make payments on Klarna or ClearPay. It is for the classes itself is for 6 weeks. Work experience is for about 1 to 2 months. Okay. It's starting on the 19th of October, the 19th of October. Yes, all the sessions will be recorded, right? All the classes are going to be recorded, and the recordings of the classes will be sent to you. Okay? All the classes will be recorded, and the recordings will be sent to you via email. This helps you so that, if you missed a part of the class or you don't fully understand it, you can always rewatch the recordings of the classes to help you. Okay? Okay, guys, I'm guessing by now we have made screenshots of everything. So again, make sure that you screenshot the how to register page for both the people in UK, Canada, US, UAE, and the people back home in Nigeria, right? No, you are not going to be taught Tableau. So instead of Tableau, we'll be teaching you Power BI. So Tableau and Power BI are sort of the same family. So instead of Tableau, we'll be training you on Power BI. Because I hope I answered that question. Ojelade, please drop your number in the chat box and then we'll get somebody to reach out to you. I'm sure she has a lot of people reaching out to her, that's why. So drop your number in the chat box and then we'll reach out to you, okay? You can just drop your number in the chat box. Oluwafemi, no, it is not. Thank you very much, Ojelade. Thank you very much, Ojelade. Thank you for dropping that. Somebody reach out to you very, very, very soon. Okay, so I'm guessing that we have all taken screenshots of the numbers by now. Please, can we quickly go over to, so once you make payments, Justin, all of these things will be sent to you via email. Once you make payments, you'll be getting the timetable, cost outline, the tools that you'll be using, how to download them, you'll be getting all of that. Yes, Pelumi, there's a discount for old candidates. Simply send payments to the numbers on the screen if you're in Nigeria, or you send payments to the number on the previous screen. Also, you can send an email to payments with an S at tritecconsulting.co.uk. Payments with an S at tritecconsulting.co.uk. If you need more details or you want to make payments or you're having issues making payments, you can reach out to any of these channels. Yes, Chinwedu, you can send an email to info@tritecconsulting.co.uk and somebody will reach out. Okay. Kenny, somebody will call you as soon as possible, and then we will take that up from there. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. We thoroughly enjoyed the session. We thoroughly enjoyed the session. If I please drop your number on the chat box, right? Agusi, if I drop your number in the chat box, Justin, drop your number in the chat box. Somebody reach out to you. Okay, you can drop your number in. Okay, good. Agusi, thank you for dropping your number in the chat box. My colleague Anita will pick it up very soon. Justin, please drop your number in the chat box so somebody reach out to you immediately to help you sort everything out and walk you through everything. Yes, you can. So you can send an email to payments with an S at tritecconsulting.co.uk. Priscilla, thank you for dropping your number. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I thoroughly had fun with you guys. Aziz, thank you for the amazing session. It was great having you with us. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions, you can reach out to any of the numbers on the screen or send an email to payments with an S, payments@tritecconsulting.co.uk, and someone will definitely reach out to you immediately. Thank you all so much for being a part of this session. We completely enjoyed it. See you all later. Bye.